Good evening, everybody. It was an explosive day on social media. I could not believe how many folks say they're with us or even in our party and continue on the narrative of embracing the crown. We are nothing of the crown. We promise real constitutionalism, absolutely federal dismemberment. That means the end of Trudeau's power, or Pierre Poilievre's power, as it's written, or would-be Jagmeet Singh's power. We promise federal dismemberment, absolutely an end to all crown, empowering the people. We also promise through that same federal crown, as it's legislated legally, easily read through if you read the 212 pages of the Constitutional Act of Canada, you get there. You see what we're doing as it's articulated very well in the Consolidated Constitutional Acts of Canada. That means every amendment of all the provinces and every time the Government of Canada in all its history opened up the Constitution for amendment, all the way to 1982. From 1867 to 1982, many times, many governments have opened up the books. In 1952, there was a massive transfer of that crown power of the UK officially to absolutely the Government of Canada. Canadians have no idea. It used to be a lot of your great-grandparents, if they were in Canada or born in Canada, or great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents before 1952, if they were pissed off at the politicians who were doing something they didn't agree with, they could write a letter to the Crown of Canada. That was your Lieutenant Governor if it was against your Premier or any opposition. You could write a letter and say, I don't like what they're proposing to do to me. I'm your subject. I have women and family still alive today, and even followers, friends on Facebook today, people I know in real life in the party who used to write those letters, and they have their grandparents' copies of their letters doing that. Lieutenant Governor for the Premier or opposition provincially, territorially, through the Commissioner, or Governor General of Canada, absolutely against the Prime Minister or the party in power or any of the opposition parties. You could, as a subject... Yeah, I gotta make a call back. Off notifications, and that's my bad. I should have done that, because I was going to make a call to a lawyer friend of mine, and we were going to have a good talk, as she's blown away by Danielle Smith too. She's been active on my Facebook. So what happened today? I had to punt a number of people off my Facebook, not getting the message, being with us in our party for a long time. We don't take this crown power. We don't. We absolutely promise to destroy it and give the power to you, the people. That's all we promise. That's all we're going to do. It's been said many, many times, power of the people. And to explain this, what Danielle Smith, to go through this finally for all Albertans, and why this video is very, very important. In 1982, that Canada Amendment, where you get the Charter, if you go look at it in Section 44 of the Amendment to the Constitutional Acts of Canada, 1867 to 1982, there's a Section 44. It gives the power of legislatures, provincial legislatures, to absolutely repeal and undo the executive constitutions of the province, meaning the crown powers of the provinces, taking through Section 58, again, the Lieutenant Governor, taking that power and enshrining all the rights every Canadian has from Section 92 to 144 for the provinces and territories. And I'm not going to go through it all, but I'm going to ask you all a question right now. Why this is so important, why Danielle Smith and her crown empowerment of a supreme autocracy of a premier and her appointed cabinet over all of these rights to pick and choose what she is going to grant you, or if she's unelected, whomever comes after her gets to apply to all of you. Now we're going to go through just Section 92. Canadians, your civil rights, your human rights, are those to be yours, you the people, or as subjects and defined savages according to the constitutionality of Canada, which Danielle Smith has now embraced, which she put together and said, I will take that, I'll keep them all as subjects and savages, myself, my cabinet, will decide what rights those subjects, who are slaves, and savages get. I'll do that. Is that constitutional enough for you, Prime Minister Trudeau? Is that enough? Oh, yes, it is. And his King's Court stood up and clapped. We even had a former justice say, oh, yes, as long as it's constitutional with the Crown, meaning we remain first class, sworn to the United Kingdom, King Charles III, and all that that means, and you will swear to, and you will follow their lead in international law, WEF, Green New Deal, Agenda 2030, 2050. I could go on and on and on about so many of these apparently wonderful forced adoptions on Canada that actually hurt Alberta. But Danielle Smith says, don't worry, I got this. I'm now crowned in the province of Alberta. I swear I vest to it. I wrote the law like that. She decides Section 44 that gave the power of the legislature to repeal the executive constitution of Alberta, clearly laid out there, Canada's constitution. She forgoes that and says, no, we're going to attach to the crown. I'm going to swear to the crown. I'm going to adopt that power for myself or all those who come after me, whether that's Rachel Notley or anybody else. Do you think they're going to repeal her act? No, they're going to take it for themselves. So, folks, anytime they don't want to be democratic, they're not going to be. They're going to say we don't have to be. 1 minute here. Sorry, cooking, and I guess I should have turned that down more, but I could hear it popping. I was like, oh geez. Section 44, 1982, power of legislatures to give you, the people, the power. Constitutional conventions for a provincial constitution. Danielle Smith and her Sovereignty Act say, oh no, we're going to stay with the executive constitution of Alberta, 1905. Pure autocratic power forevermore through her Sovereignty Act. All Canadians, whether you're Albertan or not, all First Peoples. Sovereignty. Oh, I wish I had shut that off. Sovereignty is listed right in the opening preamble of the Canadian Constitutional Act 1867. You all give your sovereignty to now King Charles III. Many of it's being upgraded now. It was Queen Elizabeth and all their heirs. Well, who's her heir? It's King Charles III. That's who you give your sovereignty to. Subjects and savages have no sovereignty. The Citizenship Act shows you this. Absolutely, the Indian Act that came literally, folks, literally only 8 years after Confederation, clearly takes it all away from you, defines you forever and a day. This is what Smith has accepted and made a deal with to get constitutionality. Instead of clearly taking Section 44 from 1982, which was a beautiful piece for the provinces by Peter Lawley. But oh no, we don't want any of that. She goes, oh no, I'm pure crown, pure power, pure autocracy, pure authority, and none of those filthy Albertans, not the subjects or any of the savages, will ever see the light of that. Now, well, let's just start with Section 92, and I don't want to get off too much here, folks, but civil rights, your human rights. Is that a power unto you, the people? Should it be enshrined by you or left for interpretation and subject to a divine premier and their cabinet? I'm just wondering, do you get to have a convention on that and get to articulate what you feel are your civil rights, your human rights, your enshrined born with rights? Because you got none in Canada. There's a Charter of Rights and Freedoms, but that's not where the power of your civil rights, your human rights, are truly found. Just look at the monumental amount of trampled human and civil rights. Look what just happened with the Freedom Convoy. It's not the first time in Canada's history. Why do they get away with it? Because it wasn't their power to begin with. It's clearly the power of the provinces to be codified in a constitution for you, the people. Property rights. Folks, who are the most people who have property in Canada? Isn't it supposed to be all of you? Shouldn't each of us have property? What about water rights? Do we all not enjoy the waters around us? Should we all not have the rights to water? What about natural resources? We hear about that all the time. Whose natural resources are they? According to Danielle Smith, and of course the federal crown, it belongs to the first-class divine politicians. And now with the Sovereignty Act, it's absolutely now Danielle Smith and her cabinet she appoints, or whomever comes after Danielle Smith, it becomes that premier's and their cabinet. This is no different than the federal powers that the federal government does with Privy Council. You've all heard about it. Well, welcome to the new Alberta with the Sovereignty Act. You're going to have a new provincial Privy Council with all of those specific powers. Never mind health, education, pension. We could go on and on and on and on. There's tremendous amounts. Section 92 has a big list. Why don't we codify a provincial constitution? Use the legislature to take Section 92 to 144 for and by the people. How hard is this to get done? Apparently, it's an impossible feat in Canada. You can't trust one lousy, dirty, filthy, corrupt politician. You could never trust Danielle Smith. You can't trust Notley. You can't trust any of them because none of them want to release the power to you, the people. They want that crown for themselves. This is what the party of the Canadian Constitutionalists is all about. If you got into the party for any other reason than bringing the power to the people, releasing all of these rights to the people, codifying them in constitutional conventions across the country, in every reserve and town hall community, for all the Canadians and all the First Peoples, a nation within a nation, just like the United States of America. You all design it with the best and greatest legal experts in the world to teach you as you go in the conventions. The MPs and MLAs are forced to assist you. Winning the crown in a minority government federally allows you to lock out the legislatures and the parliament until the conventions are done. And there's nothing they can do about it, because if you hold the title of prime minister in minority government, you get the governor general, meaning you terminate the governor general. Day of election, you hand in that letter publicly, as well as all letters to all 10 lieutenant governors and the 3 territorial commissioners. You appoint your own and ascend them 30 days later. People sworn to you, the people, to see this done. They don't break, they don't yield. They never allow any of the legislatures or the parliament to run. All MPs from every party are told, you want a paycheck? Go institute these constitutional conventions in your communities. MLAs, MPs work together to see it done. There's no big mystery to what we're doing. This is our platform. It's always been our platform. We don't hide it. We don't shy away from it. That's what we are doing. We will never accept the crown. Never, never, never. I'm going to tell everybody again. 84 times since 1945, and even before it actually for a few of them, but 1945, 84 countries have been created by destroying the monarchy. Republics, we the people. A lot of them were bad news. I highlight 2 of them. Do you want to have one little piece here that's explosive for everybody I want to give you? Did you know apartheid South Africa, that constitutional monarchy that came much after Canada, it was designed off Canada 1, the Canada design 1867, that went right crazy, went into apartheid, all these horrific things. Did you know in 1948, after the UN, they were told, you are done. And they said, go to hell. We're not going to stop. And you know what they made? A freedom charter. 1948, go look it up. A freedom charter promising rights of the black citizens underneath the whites, and all these things everybody was upset about, and all these civil rights they wanted. Like all constitutional monarchies for 950 years. Since the Magna Carta, folks, no king or no divine politicians in any constitutional monarchy have ever honored a charter. Because who makes them? Who makes the crown honor the charter? They have the justice system, the police, the military. That is how Hitler took Germany. That's how Hitler was able to murder all the Jews. If you don't believe it, or you want to, there's people that made me just want to puke today. And it's like, you're in our party? I don't think so. Gone. We're not bringing any of that. We're destroying that forevermore, like all these other 84 countries have done in history. Did a lot of them have help? Yes, most of them had help. Most of them had the P5, the 5 allies of World War II, to assist them. But it took a lot of noise. It took a lot of noise. And this party is going to be a lot of noise, even if we are not successful. We can all wait it out. We can wait for the autocracy to grow, the wealth transfers to continue, the gold mines producing more and more, all the way to UK as we get crypto wallets. Somebody's wealth, it's not really any wealth at all, sent to your country. Oops, bad investment. Don't know why our politicians are the worst of the worst financial investors for you, the subjects and savages. So bad, in fact, you have record deficits year after year. Explosive borrowing, it never ends. They say they grow the GDP, but it's always on the backs of the slaves or the slaves' children yet to come. And absolutely at the exploitation, expense, or clear genocide of a savage peoples. Rotten, gross. It's the story of all monarchies. Canada does just little increments, little tiny death from a thousand cut increments. We got to stay under the radar of all the monarchies out there. We've kept really under the radar. We never trigger any action, just slow little cuts, little cuts. We're getting there generation after generation. They're getting more institutionalized. This is what we're fighting. It's not a secret. It's always been our platform. There is no left or right. These people who come here all cockamamie. I got it from NDP. Long-time followers have seen me get attacked from the lunatic left. Now today, it's the radical right. Folks who've been following me a long time, do you see any difference or any accusations or any method that either have used? And they always accuse me of the same thing. Oh, you work for the right government, or you work for the left government. I'm an average Joe. I work for a living. I'm a welder. I'm an economist, educated. I use that in politics, but I earn my living with my hands. I don't have any massive monies from anybody, and anyone making those assertions or allegations with zero evidence is one, creating a serious case of, character assassination. There's laws against that, but more, it's their way of attacking you so that they can perpetuate their own lies. The crown has always been evil. It always will be evil. It will never be about the people, because we're not defined as people, not as citizens. We're subjects or savages. The Citizenship Act already forces the oath of allegiance, which is upgraded to King Charles III. They're going to finish all of them. It's only a matter of time. They're going to spend tremendous money getting that done. Does that sound like any kind of citizenship when you're swearing your allegiance, the oath of allegiance, to a far off divine human being? Well, there, in the end, is what Canada really is. The federal crown, the provincial crown exist by giving credence to the UK royal family and crown. You get your federal power, your federal crown, scratch the royal family's back. Provincial, you get the provincial crown in these areas, scratch the UK's back, pay the royal family, transfer the subject's wealth, the savage's wealth, to absolutely that foreign dictator. And you can beat the hell out of them as much as you like. Rape, pillage, plunder, steal, lie, cheat, as much as you can. Stuff your pockets, and they can all go to hell. That's what happens. Election cycle after election cycle. I've never seen any difference in the numbers of debt. The astronomical growing debt, they double down on each other. Conservative, liberal, provincial, NDP, conservative, liberal. We could go on and on. Green Party, they all jump in the fray. 9 out of 10 corrupt to the crown. It's a very powerful, very effective tool. You talk to any of these politicians about any of this, I've talked to many of them over and over again. You know what they say? It's very stable. The crown is very stable. Stable for who? The working Joe Janes who struggle to meet their bills, to always come up with more and more and more for a crown, who just takes more and more and won't stop taking, will keep constricting you until there's not one drop of blood left in the rag. That's the truth. This is reality. Okay, folks, sorry for the interruption in the video, but get it shared out. There was explosive truths. Truth is about bringing facts, evidence. You can all look it up yourself. Share these things. Educate, empower people. We have to. We have to. If we don't, what are you going to have? What are you going to leave for the next generation? Even more abuse? End it by empowering people, one soul at a time. Thanks. God bless. All of you have a great night. Bye now.